Hello, guys. Welcome to Hope and Nurse Routine's podcast. I'm super excited to talk to you all today. Today is Monday, 19 February. The memory verse is taken from Mark 12, verse 31. And it says, and the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. There is none other commandment greater than these. Which is important because imagine if the greatest commandment was give to other people, or the greatest commandment was take care of yourself. I wonder how we would react. But the greatest commandment is love God and love one another, which I think is actually quite funny because most of us would expect the greatest commandment is God bless me or something, but no, it's actually love one another. So the message: loving your neighbor is not just a feel-good notion or a nice idea. Rather, it is a command from God, a call to action, and a duty that you must fulfill. I know one neighbor is like, my neighbor has been so irritating. My neighbor has gotten on my nerves. They've been annoying. And it's a command. It's not even like I have a choice to do it now. It's like a command to love my neighbor as I love myself. And I just be looking like, that neighbor? You ever be looking like that neighbor? That one neighbor that offended me. That one neighbor that I give them something, they just seem to never ever turn it back. That neighbor that talks badly about me. That neighbor that we just have beef for some reason. That type of neighbor. God is just saying like it's a command to love that neighbor as you love yourself. I'm like, what? Mind blown. Which is really funny. It's really funny. And they said it's a duty that you must fulfill. It's not just like a nice notion because you want to look like a good person. It is a command, which is amazing. You must love your neighbors selflessly, unconditionally, and sacrificially. I feel like, imagine the Good Samaritan was that neighbor. I think we're all familiar with the story of the Good Samaritan where the man was on the road, people passed him, priests, different people that knew him passed. So imagine the guy that was harmed, that the Good Samaritan helped, was your neighbor that irritated you so much. Your neighbor that is like a really bad person. Like, when you have those really bad neighbors, like you can't approach them. Imagine if the person that the Good Samaritan helped, the person that was armed, was that neighbor that irritates you so much, right? Imagine if all those people were his neighbors, all the people that passed him, even though they saw that it was injured, all those people passed him. Like, that's like quite amazing, honestly. Like, imagine if you were in trouble though. Imagine if you're the one in that situation. Of course, if you're in trouble, you would want people to help you regardless of what you've done previously. So this is important because the message is saying that we should love them unconditionally and sacrificially. This kind of love goes beyond mere words. It requires us to put our love into action by serving, that is, volunteering in your neighborhood, helping people around you, noticing people, not just being self-centered, but actually noticing the problems of people around you, people that are not really in good terms in life, but you helping them is like a call to action. It's a call to action according to this memory verse. Helping and being there for those in need. You never know. That's just how you may preach Christ to them, just by helping those in need. You don't necessarily have to preach a whole sermon. Your lifestyle, your attitude, even when they're annoying, even when they hurt you, showing them love in return, that is what Jesus would do. Just like today's Bible reading tells us, when you love your neighbors, you're loving Jesus himself. You're loving Jesus himself. So instead of seeing that one nasty neighbor that is always irritating, annoying, and they really displease you, rather see Jesus. And this truly pleases God. It is important to love your neighbors because when you love them, you show them the love of Christ to the world. You never know. You really never know. You become an ambassador of God's love, spreading the message of hope and peace to those around you, which is amazing. As you show love to your neighbors, you will also be blessed. So it's not just because you want to help them as well, but you also be blessed as well. It's not just because you want to help them and all that. It's not only benefiting them, or it's not only beneficial to them, it's also beneficial to you. But you shouldn't do it because of the blessing, obviously. But it is stating that when you do it, you will be blessed. Note that your neighbor is not restricted to only those living beside or around you. If you're somebody you don't know, just like the Good Samaritan, he didn't know the person that was injured, but decided to help him either way. Anyone in need of your help is your neighbor. Therefore, you should not ignore the needs of those people who are not living close to you. So let's go to the key point. Love your neighbor as yourself. And that's on, period. Thank you for listening to Open Up with Things podcast. I hope I was able to convince you and not confuse you. Think about someone other than yourself. Stop being so selfish.